Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series for their regular season finale race from Talladega Superspeedway. Qualifying currently underway. If you guys are looking at the tower and see some of these drivers with a red banner, those are your locked-in drivers. But before we go any further, as qualifying, like I said, is underway, let's bring up my broadcast partner for the evening. He is the owner of Hutchsport Racing, and helping me out tonight, it's Mr. Joe Hutchings.
Hey, thanks, AJ, for the opportunity to be in the tower with you tonight.
Dude, it's going to be fun. Like, I know just us hanging out is a blast, but us calling a race around such a fun racetrack, not just drive around to also watch racing. But yeah, I can't wait for it. Some of the lap times are very, very close together. It looks like Carter Casey is currently sitting on provisional pole with a 54.05. But let's kind of run down some of the statistics for tonight and in Talladega past. We're doing 91 laps. That is just shy of 245 miles. We do have that stage caution at lap 32. We're also going to get a fuel run anywhere between 28 to 35 laps. Now, for our season winners, they'll be blacked out, bannered out in that beautiful red banner. You have Bryce Senezak with 3 wins, Mid-Ohio, Kansas, and New Hampshire. Joe Torres with 2, Daytona and Richmond. Let's see if he can come back to a super speedway and win here. Alan Fox, Chicagoland and Las Vegas. Paul Irvin with Nashville Super Speedway, and Michael Thwaites with the 2008 version of Atlanta. And going back to season 19, the pole sitter was Alan Dobbs. The winner was Mike Rominger, last night's winner. Bryce Senezak led the most laps with 21. We had 18 leaders for 38 lead changes, 5 cautions for 15 laps. Then back the season before that, season 18, Ed Morris Sr. with the pole. The winner was Carter Casey, leading that lap that matters the most, the last lap. Paul Irvin led the most laps with 20, 16 leaders with 37 lead changes, 4 cautions for 12 laps. And then season 16, we took season 17 off. It was the race that started the season, race number 1. Darren Bruce, your pole sitter. Nick Hunt leading 5 laps was your winner. Then Gary Sexton leading 28 laps, leading the most laps that night. 12 leaders for 34 lead changes, 3 cautions for 9 laps. Joe, with all that being said, what are you kind of expecting with tonight's race?
I feel that everybody's just going to kind of chill out, relax, kind of get settled in for a long run and try to make it midway through the race before they start trying to jockey for positions. But we know some of these guys around here, they just can't wait. We're going to see some good action out there on the raceway today.
I think we're going to see a lot of good action out on the raceway. And we saw that a little bit last night, Joe, when it came to when was the proper time to be aggressive. Some of these drivers, from the drop of the green flag to start the race, they wanted to get to the front, and that's all they wanted to do. And they wanted to stay up at the front at all costs. I don't know if that's what we are going to see tonight, but let's get a quick word with our pole winner. It's the driver of the number 28. It's Carter Casey. Carter, congratulations on winning the pole. How was it out there? How was the car during qualifying? And what are we expecting for you throughout the race tonight?
Yeah, the car felt good during the Q lap there. As far as the race goes, just kind of go with the feel of the pack. If it's calm, we stay up front. If it gets a little crazy, we might dive below the yellow and just let them sort it out for themselves. But really depends on how the field's going, and we'll just kind of read the pulse of the field and go from there.
All right, brother. Well, good luck. Maybe we'll talk to you at that lap 32 or in the podium interviews at the end of the race, pal.
All right, thank you.
All right, Joe, we are lining everybody up. It is time. Let's start with our grid for tonight's race. We just talked to him. Carter Casey on the pole. Michael Thwaites in second. Your second row brings you to Dennis Ansman and Daniel Krim. Row 3, you have Jeffrey Goodpaster and Gary Wells. Row 4, Kyle Zimmer and Brian Wasserman. And rounding out the top 10 in row number 5, you have Doug Tuttle and Paul Irvin. Everybody else is going to cycle through on your screen. Joe, what would be a strategy? I know you're more of a road racer, but you've dabbled in a lot of oval at times. What would be your strategy getting around Talladega for 91 laps? What would you be doing?
Me personally, I would sit here and follow the back, if not already be back there and not qualifying. I ride around a lot. I sit there and try to see who's going to be able to keep their car going in a straight line, who's not making aggressive moves early, and just kind of feeling out the draft and trying to kind of test some people out to see where we're going to be when it's go time.
Let's take a quick look at our points coming into tonight. Bryce Senezak sitting on top, good 4 points ahead of everybody. Then Alan Fox, somebody who needed a provisional for tonight's race, but he's locked into the playoffs via that win. Joe Torres in third, Paul Irvin in fourth. Fifth, you have Daniel Krim. And in sixth, Gary Wells, Michael Thwaites, seventh in the in the standings. Eighth, Connor Coleman. Ninth, Kyle Zimmer. And rounding out the top 10 in the championship standings, it's Josh Vidal. Now, mind you, some of the drivers that have won a race might not be showing up. As long as they make their 7 races and have a win, they will contend for a playoff. But let's look at the team points. Primetime Motorsports with a very commanding 98-point lead over Spartan Esports. Then Warrior Enterprises in third with 750. Southern Havoc Gaming with 508. Royalty Motorsports with 267. ACR with 224. And then Gillen Motorsports at 150. We have started rolling. We've got the countdown to going green. We are just about a lap away from sending these cars for the first time full speed ahead towards turn 1. I'm excited, Joe. If you had to pick a driver, what would be who would be your pick?
I am going to start with I'm going to go all the way to the back row. All right. I'm going to pick Kyle Miller. He's going to try to be patient early off because he's got some penalty issues and stuff. And he's starting in the back. Give him some time. He'll make his way up to the front, and we'll see what he can do.
I'm actually going to stay back there. And somebody who unfortunately got mixed up with a couple incidents last night, didn't get the finish that he wanted, but somebody who's always really good at these plate tracks. It's the driver of the number 22 Chevy Camaro of Mike Robinson. I would not be surprised by the time we hit this stage if he's within that top 10 and maybe even top 5.
We'll see. Mike's actually really good at plate tracks, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, that's why I picked him.
Sleeper.
Well, not yet. I don't. He'll sleep after the race. Well, there goes the pace car heading for cover down pit lane, and now we have this really long stretch before Barney the Flagman gives everybody that green flag. And there it is, green flag in the air for the first time tonight. Welcome to the RICMOTECH Xfinity Series regular season finale race. already. That inside lane being put together rather well. Third car on the outside. That's the 27 of Gary Wells, giving a little bit of a breathing room to, it looks like, the 47 of Daniel Krim. Sorry. A lot of red cars up front.
Yeah, Krim's already put the bumper to the car in front of him down that back straight. But this is early. They're just getting stuff sorted out.
Yeah, I'm not too worried early on in this race. You have Dennis Ansman in the black number 3, giving a nice push to pole winner Carter Casey, as it looks like he will lead lap 1, that 28. But here comes that outside lane. Daniel Krim giving a heck of a push to the 12 of Michael Thwaites. If you guys were here last night, Michael Thwaites spun early and was able to bounce back for a pretty good finish. But speaking of that, last night's standings, there they are, the results. Rominger won the race. We talked to him, we talked to Darnell, and talked to Thwaites, and that is how everybody else finished through the race after it went official late last night.
I got the 29 being brave on the outside lane right now.
Yeah, you're going to see if somebody moves out that way, I think early on, to see who your friends are, because early on, you don't want to really get shuffled to the back unless it's by your own hand. We saw, like I said, last night with Michael Thwaites getting in trouble because he got put 4 wide out of basically nowhere. But right now, we're seeing Matt Cochran, the 003, work with Joe Torres on that outside lane and really start making some headway up there. Nice, easy track you can kind of do it to. Daytona, it's a little tighter to put 3 wide. 3 wide works no problem. Each car gets their own lane at Talladega, and we saw 4 wide a couple times last night. Now, I don't know about you, Joe. 3 wide I can handle. 4 wide, seeing somebody try to throw it in there, it really gets hairy.
It's only hairy for the week.
Until you're headfirst into the inside wall, outside wall, or into 5 or 6 other cars. And there goes Carter Casey, already hitting the parachute and heading to the back. He got his couple laps led. He's happy. But up front, Michael Thwaites with, here comes a hell of a charge from the 3. They're going to stay 3 wide right behind him. He's got control of the inside lane. Daniel Krim, lead car in the middle, and Joe Torres, lead car on the outside lane. But it looks like this time by, it will be Michael Thwaites.
I'm just surprised that they're going 3 wide this early in this race.
I'm not. Lap 4 last night, they were already 4 wide, as it looks like Ansman's gonna leave the 12. It looked like Michael Thwaites was letting everybody know that he was gonna head towards the back. And Daniel Krim is gonna take over the lead? No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Here comes Gary Wells through the middle. Big run from the 27 through the middle, getting a nice push from the 78 of Eric Driggins.
You know Gary likes having that nose out in that clean air. Guaranteed.
Especially at plate racetracks. He's another one that is very, very strong. And they're holding serve on that middle lane with no help behind them. You can see the one of Joshua Gillen a couple car lengths back, not really giving him an arrow push. As I say that, here comes the 1 and the 5. You weren't kidding, Joe. Kyle Miller already up to that 11th position, and my pick, the 22 of Mike Robinson, up to 10th already.
Yeah, you're not hanging around out back long.
At least not if you're them. But we are 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. And it is very early on in tonight's race. We're only on lap number 7. Now, Joe, for the most part, if you're in the draft here, as there goes Gary, he's going to drop back to the back. Are you doing anything kind of saving wise to make sure you can make it? Because there's a chance, Joe, that you could be a 2 or 3 laps too short. We're going the 32. You have a max if you're saving from green flag to caution flag to go 35. It's cutting it kind of close.
If you're not one of the lead cars, you are doing max fuel save. You are not running wide open throttle because of the draft. So a lot of these guys that keep moving from the front all the way to the back, maybe they're doing a fuel conservation. We're not going to know until we get up to that stage caution.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we're going to see people dive down pit road. We are on board with the 48 of Paul Irvin. See if we have a little bit of fuel saving going on, because they are very much broken up back here. Little bit of squirrely from Connor Coleman, middle lane, the blue W, number 23 on the inside lane, a little squirrely. Eek. But Drinkin's leading the race 9 laps in. Your biggest mover was the driver you picked, the number 5 of Kyle Miller. He's already up 15 spots. And if he gets a good push here, he might be battling for the lead. And there goes Daniel Krim.
Yeah, I think some of these guys are starting to realize we ain't going to make it to the stage caution, so they're just dropping back.
Yeah, but you also got to be really careful, Joe, with pulling the chute and heading back there. There is such a speed difference. There is a shot you could lose the draft.
It's very much possible, but most of the time, if you got your teammates around, they're probably going to try to pick you up and kind of keep you in the race. One other benefit to the stage caution is if you stay on the lead lap, you get your lap back, or if you end up a lap down and stay, first car a lap down, then you get that lap back. So, it's a give and take strategy game more than anything.
It looks like they are not black flagging the one. They are telling the one to get out of the way due to his blinking issues right now.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's blinked out a couple of times.
But Kyle Miller, from almost last on the field to P1, coming out of turn 4. Does he lead this lap? Because here comes Dennis Ansman on the outside. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow right now. We have over 9,000 likes on TikTok. So if you're watching on TikTok, we appreciate you. Hit that follow button. We go live racing 3 times a week right here on the channel. And there goes the 5. He got put in the middle, and he is starting to sink.
Yeah, he got sucker hold.
Which I thought for a second he was going to be able to come up to that high lane. It looks like he wants to stay right in that middle row. Got Bryce Senezak in the 09, about 5 or 6 car lengths back. But not for nothing, he's holding pretty good in third just by himself. And he's going to take the front car on the inside lane. Connor had to help him there. 100%.
Oh, for sure.
As we are side by side coming around to put lap 13 on the board. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series regular season finale from Talladega Super Speedway. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I don't know if you guys caught that while we were side by side, but there were some really sketchy moments at the front of this field. I thought Goodpaster was losing it. The 23 had a very scary moment. I know we're about halfway through this first stage.
Ooh,
they're driving like the sun's coming down.
Look at that move that Kyle Miller just put on the field.
Yeah, he put one hell of a move, and even though he doesn't have help, he's up to P2. And here comes Mike Robinson. He's going to get right behind the number 5. Going to give him a nice push through the tri-oval. Joe, this has kind of felt like a feeling out process for a lot of these drivers. Like, who do I want to work with? Who do I work well with? But right now, it just feels like a feeling out process to see how the rest of the race is going to go.
Right, that's like what I said earlier. Everybody's going to see how everybody's running tonight. how you feeling around this guy, because you can't trust what you had at Daytona. You just got to make the calls on the fly. You have split-second decisions all the time.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. You can't use what you have from Daytona. A lot of these drivers have gotten better throughout the season. And with it being the regular season finale, a lot of these drivers, this is their last shot to make the playoffs. And some of them definitely need a win. I.e. Mike Robinson, Kyle Miller. They need
a lot of the front
win.
runners.
Jeffrey Goodpaster's one of them.
It's going to make for a very entertaining finish to this race, especially the way these guys are running right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And as well as it was working out with the 5 running that middle lane all by himself, it's really starting to hurt as he's fallen all the way back to that
23 and the 29
position.
just got together.
Yeah, well, they're still facing the right way, so that's a plus.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Fry on TikTok said the 5 is in no save mode. You think?
Yeah, no save mode. Don't save the fuel. Don't save the tires. Don't save the car. Checkers or wreckers for Kyle Miller.
Well, the thing is, well, he definitely needs to win, so 100%. When it comes to Daytona and Talladega, for the most part, you're only taking either 2 sets of tires or no tires on a green flag stop. Caution flag, different story, as it looks like Vidal is off pit road. Daniel Krim is off onto pit road as well.
Yep.
As they both clip the grass coming onto pit road, that could be an issue. I know once you touch that grass, it might give you an unsafe pit entry or pit exit.
We'll have to see when they come off of pit road.
Yeah, if they're going to get hold for an extra 40 seconds.
Yep.
It just stinks that there's only 2 of them working together. They are going to get freight trained by the field.
It's okay. Like I said before, you can make it up at the stage.
They didn't pit. They ran right through pit road. I wonder if that's because they got a penalty. That instead of pitting and getting held for 40 seconds, that they chose to use that as their pass-through, and then they're going to come back around this time by. What's going on, Mick? How are you, pal? As we are back up front, Robinson, your lead car on the outside. Dennis Ansman, your lead car in the middle. And Jeffrey Goodpaster, your current race leading driver in the number 33 Ford Mustang with Winston on the side and Noble on the hood.
Update on the 47 and 26. They were both black flagged.
Yeah, so they just used that as their pass-through instead of getting that 40-second hold.
Correct.
But they will go a lap down right here. Robinson to the point. Joe Torres immediately to his outside. I wonder when we're going to start to see everybody else, because we are under 10 laps to go to the end of the stage. And look at the shove that Driggins is giving the 29 on the outside. He's going to drop down to the inside, blocking Robinson's run.
You're going to start seeing these low-line drivers right now start to peel off. They have to.
Yeah, right around now is when you're really going to figure out, do I have enough fuel to make it? Because you've done either enough saving or you haven't.
Oh, I'm hedging a bet that there's a certain car at the back of the field right now that is probably saving a lot of fuel.
Why do I feel like
As
you're
in
talking
Gary
about
Wells.
the 20? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're jumping on board to see. What was that, Joe?
He's just riding along, la-da-da, you know. Not a care in the world, just saving fuel. Guarantee that's what he's doing.
He's running about half throttle right now. Maybe 3/4 throttle.
There comes the field.
Yeah, here comes the cavalry. Oh, Ansman was probably speeding. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Then Joe Torres, Mike Robinson, Connor Coleman, Jeffrey Goodpaster, who was the race leader, very conservative, getting on pit road. And then Kyle Zim. Oh, we have a spin on pit road.
Oh, no, they're wrecking. Is that the 33?
The 23 and the 33. And it looked like Connor Coleman blew the motor on that. Go on the nose cam of Connor Coleman because his engine does expire. Oh, wasn't that hard of a hit either.
That's painful.
More drivers hitting pit road. Driggins, Senezek, Waits, Miller, and Tuttle all on pit road this time around. I can't believe with that hit, it blew up. Like, I expected some front end damage for the 23, but not for the whole engine to just blow up on them. That wow.
Seems odd.
And here comes everybody, or not everybody else.
Nope.
Just Gillen.
Bold move. Bold move.
By himself. At that point, if you're able to still go another lap, I would have stayed with these guys, because pitting by yourself, you're asking for it. You're going to lose a lot of time. But there's the 003, the 48, the 28, the 57, and the 27, all in a line on the inside lane. Let's see, did anybody save enough fuel? Oh, no.
Here comes the rest of the field.
And Paul Irvin is flying. Very conservative for Matt Cochran. He's going to lose 2 spots, almost 3. Nope, he did lose 3 spots. But here's where our race leaders should be. Dennis Ansman and Joe Torres. Kind of looks like tandem drafting a little bit up front.
Does kind of look like it, and at the front of the field, we might cycle out to see the 22 in the lead.
We might cycle out, and I think Ansman and Torres are going to be in the lead right now. But that 22, you're right, Joe. He's going to have a full head of steam with Senezak and Gillen right behind him. Just watch the run Robinson's going to have right now. There's a 27 at Gary Wells.
Hi. Oh, looks like Ansman and the 28 car are going to end up cycling out to be out front. And the 29.
And then you have Carter Casey to the inside, along with the 57 of Brian Wasserman. Fastest lap of the race right here on lap 29 goes to Michael Thwaites with a 49.53. Not many drivers with a lap time in the 49 bracket.
It's about to start getting really hairy ahead of this stage caution.
Yeah, we are just a couple laps short of it. Woo! 2 to go. Pits are closed. Dennis Ansman, your current race leader, followed by Joe Torres, Mike Robinson in the 22 in third. Then the battle is there for fourth. You have Senezek in the 09 and the 28 of Carter Casey. Pretty cool little stat for everybody watching at home. From first all the way to 13th, you're looking at just over a half a second of time. Don't get that a lot at other racetracks, but you definitely get that at the super speedways. As we have a third line building on the high side. Looks like Doug Tuttle getting a push from Kyle Miller and Matt Cochran. As we are on the white flag lap for the stage. Who's going to make it around, get the stage win, and come talk to us? Woo! Big push from the 12 to the 09.
The 5 shoving the 86 pretty hard right now.
Yeah, Miller is giving Tuttle all he can handle, it looks like. But out of turn number 4, who's going to win the stage through the trial for the final time? And to the line, Bryce Senezak is going to be your stage winner. The 09 going from 11th to 1st in the first stage. Huge shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or even TikTok. Glad to have you all here. Keep spamming those like buttons. Come comment with us. How do you like the racing? It's been, so far, I think, one of the best plate races we've seen in a while. But we will talk to the 09 once pit stops are over. Joe, what'd you think of the first stage and some of the strategy calls we've seen?
Well, I'm going to agree with one of our comments from Brandon. Great green flag racing. Very clean. There were a couple of little hiccups, but that's expected. The strategy calls were, I'd have to say trying to save fuel was not the best of calls, but everybody made it through the first stage pretty clean, and I'm stoked for the second run.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we're gonna have for the about 55 lap run that we're going to get. Whether we get a couple cautions or not, it's gonna be expected. It's Talladega, baby. We gotta at least have one big one, right?
Don't do that.
They don't like it when you talk about the wrecking. But pit stops are gonna happen momentarily. This is where I fully expect everybody to come down pit road, pack these cars full of fuel, and this is where I expect them to take 4 tires. If it's a green flag run, you're taking 0 or 2 max. But here comes the cavalry. It looks like the only car we have a lap down is currently Connor Coleman. He blew up with an incident with Jeffrey Goodpaster on pit road. But yeah, there is the 09, your stage winner. Once his service is over, we'll pull him up here. He had to back into his stall, Joe. That could be a little bit of an issue.
Well, it looks like our picks for the night hit pit road pretty good, or hit their pit stalls pretty good. No mistakes on that end.
Looks like Tuttle, Ansman, Thwaites, Senizak, Miller, Torres, Robinson, Casey, Wasserman, and Wells your top 10. But let's see if we can get a word with the 09 of Bryce Senizak. Let's see, where? Oh, right there. Cool. Hey, Bryce, it's AJ Joe in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on the stage win. How does it feel out there? You're locked into the playoffs, so you're just going for trophies at this point. But how is it out there? It looked like it was kind of chaotic.
Yeah, doing extended pretty much was. I was originally just going to try and make it without pitting until the stage, but I was going to be like 2 laps short, so kind of made the decision to do the splash and go with the Thwaites and Driggins, and they worked with them. They had a bit of a setback, but they got back up to me and helped me win that stage. So
Nice. What's the plan for about the 55 lap run that we're gonna have to the finish?
hopefully it's a one stop from here on out. I'm not completely sure on that one, but yeah, just plan on doing this on one stop and
Yeah, math on the
trying
fly.
to get another W.
Math on the fly is hard. Believe me, I am fully
Yeah.
aware. But Bryce, congratulations on the stage win, and if everything goes well, we'll be talking to you later on.
All right, sounds good.
All right, everybody, that is your stage winner, Bryce Senizak. Joe, we're done with the stages for the regular season. Now we need to figure out who's going to win the race. Do you think it's going to be a new one, a new driver, or do you think we're going to see a repeat winner?
I am sticking with my pick. I am still sticking with Kyle Miller after seeing his performance in the first stage. Don't expect him to sit back and just wait. He's going to be up front here very quickly. And if you didn't notice, we had a bunch of cars pull off onto pit road while we were interviewing the our stage winner. So we're going to have a lot of different strategies coming around here for this last stage.
Yeah, all those drivers that came down pit road, starting with Doug Tuttle, Miller, Casey, Wasserman, Wells, Goodpaster, Cochran, Irvin, Krim, Vidal, and Gillen. Those are all penalty drivers now. They're going to be forced to start on the inside lane as we are coming to the green this time by, which means there's only going to be 3 cars on that outside lane. The 12 of Thwaites, Torres in the 29, and the 78 of Driggins. So, not a lot of help out there for that outside lane.
Should we use the famous line #chaos?
No, please don't.
Ha! I already did.
I don't want to pay him for royalties. Pace car is gonna
correct.
Pace car is gonna duck down pit road, and here we go. Ansman's gonna have the green light once we get into the Geico restart zone. And there we go. Green flag back in the air, and we are a go for the final stage of the regular season. Ansman way out front. Wade's dropping down into that second position in front of Senizak.
Looks like the 12 is going to put the parachute on, go to the back.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Because now, if we stay green, this is it. 100%, this is it. Looks like Project runner on TikTok says, I'm rooting for Gillen. But up front, Ansman getting a heck of a push from the 29 of Torres. Robinson sitting in third, but here comes the one. Looks like the one is kind of figured out his blinking issue. Right there. I know it's not him, it's his internet. But if that was me, I'd be screaming at everybody in the house to shut everything off.
It's been done here before.
I need the bandwidth.
Then I got good internet.
Give me the bandwidth. Oh, as I say that, there he goes.
Yep.
But like
Kyle Miller is shoving Tuttle pretty hard.
Yeah. Yes. They have a little help from Gillen, but only 3 cars on that outside lane. What they're going to be betting on is doing some serious side drafting, trying to bunny hop their way through the field. No,
if this was me, AJ, I would have split this. I would be running as hard as I could.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, you also want to pit with other people. You don't want to be the only one going all out and end up on pit road all by yourself. But here comes that way outside lane. Tuttle, Miller, the 003 or 003, sorry, probably better way to say it, of Matt Cochran on that high outside lane, and they foxholed Robinson.
It looks like Cochran's going to help out Robinson there.
That inside lane is just so good right now.
Kind of surprised because usually the middle and the outside have been getting pretty good runs in the last few races that at least I've run on plate tracks.
Oh, they have. They 100% have. But I just don't think they have the numbers to sustain a run. They can get towards the front. But that inside lane has 6, 7 cars, where that middle lane now it has 4, so we might actually see Robinson possibly get to the lead. But here's the thing. Does he stay in that middle lane pulling everybody, or does he drop back down to the inside?
If it was me, I'd stay in that outside lane. I would pinch that low line down as hard as I could and leave as much racetrack to the top as possible for myself, and maybe to see a 3 wide or 2.
Well, I like your thinking, because that leaving that extra lane could be a really nice escape route if you need it.
Exactly, especially if one of those low line guys goes and hits that yellow line.
Oh, and there it goes.
Ooh.
You mentioned Robinson might not ditch, but he got ditched by Matt Cochran. Oh, Doug Tuttle with a big shot. And just like that, that outside lane's going to need to regroup and recharge. And
Look who's creeping into the middle of this fight, too, that 27.
Here comes Gary. Gary's back up to 11th. Oh, big wreck!
Oh, big one.
Doug Tuttle involved. Oh, he's still wrecking. First caution for incident tonight, coming on lap 40. Ooh, whoa. I'm going to jump on board with the nose of Doug Tuttle. Ooh.
Ooh. Ouch. Rip Robinson. Rip Tuttle.
Was that? Ah. Looks like Robinson's coming up just a tad, but that looks like complete netcode. Oh dear. Oh. How does Gary not have any damage?
Golden Horseshoe?
That's what I'm thinking. Wow. Second caution of the evening. Looks like we're going to have takers onto pit road.
Everybody but the one.
No, it looks like Daniel Krim stayed out, and so did Josh Vidal. And also the one. Getting that one some screen time for his wonderful fan base. But everybody, you're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live from Talladega Superspeedway, the regular season finale. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, everybody, we are back. We're about to conclude our second Elite Entertainment caution flag of the night. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, come chat with us, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or even TikTok. Glad to have you all here. Very much helps out the stream when you do. Pace car just ducked for cover, and we are in the control of the number 1 of Gillen. Which is going to be weird, because as you guys saw, he was blinking out just a couple times. Might actually work in his favor, especially if he blinks out when he hits the go pedal. And there we go.
Ooh, back up.
Gillen and Vidal with one heck of a run.
They suckered everybody in that low line. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great and all, but everybody's going to get back to you with a lot more speed, and you might not be able to hold them off. As there goes Vidal being pushed by the 47 of Krim and the 3 of Ansman. Senizak in the 09 can only do so much. With the one blinking out, you don't know where he's going to reappear, even if he's going to reappear. So you have to be very careful.
I'm surprised that the admins are letting him run out front like that with all the blinks that he's had.
Yes, I 100% agree with you.
But hey, you know, your audience wants to see mayhem, chaos, and millions of dollars of damage. Thanks, guys.
And there goes the one.
One's dropping up. Yep.
It's like the minute you said it, Joe Darnell or what is it, Aaron Beaver? Probably went right across the radio comms and said, "Hey, drop back until it fixes itself." So we are 3 by 3. Pretty good for that middle lane of Vidal and Krim. Holton serve just the 2 of them, but here it comes the 5 of Kyle Miller. He'll be to the back end of the 47 by the end of the backstretch.
Look what it did to that inside line. They broke it up and ended up falling to the back.
Sucks, Josh. It really does, pal. You were running a really good race, but I don't know how did you? Are you texting and driving? That's illegal in most states. Oh, Irvin pops the wall.
Am I allowed to use his nickname that I have for him?
Mr. Clean?
No, Swervin' Irvin.
Oh, well, that's always a thing. No, I don't think. I think Gillen's got the draft, and he's gonna have help. It's amazing. If that one didn't have blinking issues, he'd be leading this whole field, because we've seen him do it multiple times where he's jumped out of line when he's had issues blinking, and then drive right back to the front.
Drive right through everybody.
But up front, it's the 48 of Irvin and the 26 of Vidal. And just look at it. Paul's got teammate Matt Cochran, and Vidal's got teammate Krim. Looks like teammates will find a way.
Always do.
Coming to just about 40 laps to go. Entering turn 1, Cochran, little squirrely, thought he was about to wreck the field. That 003 was very loose on entry there. Oh, and a weird push.
There comes the one again on that outside line.
That's amazing. And he's doing it all by himself. Honestly,
He must have gone to the Dale Earnhardt School of Drafting.
It's like somebody at his internet company sabotaging him. Every time he gets towards the front, they flicker his internet. Yeah, Nate, it definitely looks like the one took his dubby today. And speaking of dubby, if you guys want to sponsor help the channel, we have this wonderful sponsorship with Dubby Energy. It is a very, very clean energy drink, flavorful and focused on energy. It's made from coffee bean extract. Use code AS15TV to save 10% on all your orders. Visit dubby.gg to place it today. And shipping's usually pretty fast. I just did my last order Black Friday, and it was here yesterday. So they're pretty fast with shipping them out. They all taste great. My new favorite flavor, and a lot of their flavors are memes, so they're throwing that out there. It's called Grandpa's Denture Water.
You would drink something like that, wouldn't you, AJ?
I thought it was hilarious, and it's actually pretty good.
What is it? It tastes like prune juice?
It's mango papaya.
Ooh.
It's very good.
Y'all better get on that dubby.
And it works. You sip at it throughout the day, and you keep your energy up all day. No jitters, no crash.
And enough energy to get through this race.
Yes. Very much the best part of it all, Joe. You buy a tub, and each serving's about $1.50. Cheaper than a cup of coffee, so you can stop going to Dunkin' and or Starbucks. And Starbucks is even more expensive. But up front, it's the two teammates, Josh Vidal and Daniel Krim. You have
Look who stuck up into the top 5 there.
Are you talking about the 27?
Yeah.
Oh, he's about to go somewhere, pal.
Oh, I know.
He's getting right to the back bumper of the 47. As I say that, he's going to run that middle lane. Going to have some help with Matt Cochran. Gary Wells looking towards the lead. Oh, boy. And here comes the 5 again.
Getting feisty at lap 54, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. We should have pit stops for at least Vidal and Krim within the next 5 or so laps. I think they were betting on a caution about 10 laps into this last run. And it just has not panned out.
Here comes the one again on that inside line.
That's amazing, Joe. Gillen is really good tonight. His internet, though, not. It's like he's trying to sneak off some Wi-Fi from the McDonald's down the road.
I was gonna say the local McDonald's.
Nate, Dragonade is pretty good. But Galaxy Grenade's even better. Watermelon, guava, lime. So good. But Wells and Cochran on the outside battling for the top spot. Here comes the 5 again to push the 47 as we're starting to see drivers move down towards that inside lane. Hey Joe, it only took you about an hour and 15 minutes to like the stream. Thanks, pal.
I had more important things to do, you know, calling a race.
Yeah, and you are doing a phenomenal job, and I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm very much an amateur in this booth. I'm surprised that this booth actually supports my, you never mind.
No, we've had NASCAR reinforce all the broadcast booths about a year and a half ago when TJ and myself were doing broadcasts.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Gary Wells and Josh Vidal out front.
Can you check your iRacing right there? Who led that last lap? And how close was it?
Ooh. Yeah. Point 001. Gary Wells over Josh Vidal.
Jesus. And now Gary Wells is was clear.
Still is.
No, he's not.
And the Blimpy is.
Are you not live?
I am live.
No, Brandon, the door isn't there anymore. We've been told to use the window. Here comes that outside lane. All it is Kyle Miller, and he's been one of the drivers that has been able to make running by yourself work all night. Vidal and Krim have to be coming down pit road any lap now. But what
Like
would
Kyle Miller.
Yeah, he's fourth on that middle lane, and he's just looking for a hole to get up towards the front. But good thing.
I mean, you can make holes.
Good thing for Daniel Krim and Josh Vidal. They pit, they're done. They don't need to pit anymore. Especially if they can last another couple laps. Because then they'd really be good.
Looks like we're starting to get tandem drafting going.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was a very, very fun time at super speedways to see two-car tandem drafting. It's also very scary for what I was told. Because the closing rate from those drivers is insane.
Mm-hmm. We're not talking like 5 or 10 miles an hour. We're talking like 15, 20 miles an hour. It is a huge difference.
Gary's got to be really happy with how this is going right now. He's been on kind of like a bad luck skid as of late. And up front at a track that he really likes, with Matt Cochran pushing him around the racetrack, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a smile on his face.
I would have to agree with that.
Or he's Michael Jordaning it with his tongue out, trying to concentrate.
Yeah.
I know you're a Chicago guy, so I had to make the Michael Jordan reference.
You mean GOAT? I mean, what?
I agree. Just 3 cars on that outside lane, but they are really tight up together. They are really doing a great job holding serve to that inside lane, as Wells is completely clear. But it looks like he's going to stay in that middle lane to keep Cochran right behind him. Look at Vidal. Did you see that, Joe? A little bit of a reverse side draft. Usually it's the outside lane coming down. That inside lane went up.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that, because you could hook Gary and take out most of the field.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
We don't want to see this race run on foot.
Looks like the one's peeling off for a pit stop.
Ooh, he locked up the tires right before the commitment line. He might end up speeding.
Did he Scott Dixon it?
Oof.
Oof.
Well, there's the first IndyCar reference of the evening. At least it made it to lap 64.
Sorry. Can't help it.
Dude, I'm surprised it lasted that
enjoy
long.
Racing. Right? I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, there goes the 26. Here goes the 47.
This should be it for both of them. But they both have... If they have any sort of penalty, their race is over. Unless there's a caution. But up front, now there's no contest. Gary Wells, your race leader. The 003 of Matt Cochran. The 5 of Kyle Miller. The 28 of Carter Casey. And Eric Driggins in 5th. Your biggest mover of the race so far is sitting in that 3rd position. And it's your driver. The one you picked, Joe. Kyle Miller plus 15. 18th to 3rd.
Impressive.
And just to get a little bit of a difference to see where the leaders are to where Vidal and Krim are, as they're separated about 2 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if Vidal drags the brake a little bit so Krim can get to him. But just about a straightaway. As there they are, you can see him. Gary can see him right out the windshield. Now, Joe, you've probably done a lot more plate racing than I have. How much time is spent looking out your rear view mirror than out the windshield?
A lot. And what I mean by a lot, you have one eye out the windshield and one eye on that rear view mirror.
So you're
Especially
Perry Saturn?
Sure.
You got one eye going that way, and you got one eye going that way.
Just call me Crazy Eyes.
Okay, googly eyes.
Oh, no.
25 laps to go. Everybody is going to need to pit again, except Vidal, Krim, and Gillen. Along
and all 3 of them are linked up together.
And along with Wade, Senzak, Driggins. Like we have two little packs. Dwight, Senezak, and Driggins. And then Vidal, Krim, and Gillen. And if everything goes well, Vidal might get a little bit of a tow to Driggins here. And this will end up being a 6-car train. But with that one blinking out right behind him, might be a little bit more of a problem. At what point, Joe, do we start seeing everybody else get? Never mind. Ooh, look at Paul Irvin.
There's your answer.
Very aggressive, getting to pit road. Gary Wells coming off the racetrack in P1 is going to enter pit road in P5. Paul Irvin off the racetrack in P6 enters P1. As long as you don't get a speeding penalty, Paul Irvin might be leading this train coming off pit road. Or pretty close to it.
Let's see if he takes fuel only.
He's already down and away. He's
they're already
back on the racetrack.
Wrong screen. Sorry, I got multiple monitors here.
You got the 57 of Brian Wasserman, Kyle Miller, Carter Casey, Paul Irvin, Matt Cochran, Gary Wells. As we have the rest of the cavalry now hitting pit road. Ansman, Zimmer, Torres, and Goodpaster.
Oh, we got extracurriculars on the backstretch.
It looked like Brian Wasserman, and I think we stay green here. Oh, he's going to get turned by Kyle Miller. And off the racetrack. Oh, Driggins goes for the slide too. And we do stay green. Carter Casey's going to take over the lead. Paul Irvin now into second. Dennis Ansman going to drop back to fourth because Kyle Miller takes third place.
Looks like we got black flag.
For the 5?
For the 27 driving through too many pit stalls? Is that what I'm reading?
Ooh. That's a penalty. But he's going to stay on the racetrack. He had no access to pit road without possibly causing an incident with the one who was inside. And here we go. It's getting squirrely.
Ooh.
They're still touching.
Oh.
There it goes.
That's it.
We were doing so good. But this all started with the 28 of Carter Casey and Dennis Ansman. And then ends up with that outside lane. Irvin, the 12. I think that's the 29 of Torres. Good chunk of damage on the 48. The 09 of Senezak doesn't look too bad. But this is our second, or our third Elite Entertainment caution of the night with 20 laps to go. You're watching All Star 15 TV's broadcast of the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live from Talladega Super Speedway. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Everybody, we are back. Just about a half a lap away from going green once again.
Get it right. It's half a lap from chaos.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Not wrong at all, Joe. And what have you thought of the race so far that we've seen tonight?
I have thoroughly enjoyed this race. This has been one of the better plate races I've seen this year.
Yeah, I just like last night's race. I know people have their issues with what happened last night. I'm not going to go into it. It was a fantastic race overall. And as you can see, everybody doubling up, getting ready to go. Nobody diving down pit road to fill up the cars one last time because you're good to the finish. We're going to go green with 17 laps to go. I don't think we are done wrecking. But with how everything's been running tonight, it's been super aggressive, but yet really super clean.
Well, we'll see how this pans out. How many laps we got left?
We'll go green with 17.
There we go. Thanks. My math's not working.
Your math isn't mathing. After a long day of work, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pace car is off. Nate, I love how you keep going with that. And green flag is back in the air. Here we go. And already, here comes the 27, like you mentioned, serving that penalty right now. If we don't get another caution, his race is unfortunately over, and that's the 27 of Gary Wells. But up front, good pass during the 33, Kyle Miller in the 5. Dennis Ansman in the 3, and Daniel Krim in the 47, second car on the outside lane. And right now, that outside lane looks very much well put together.
Yep, they're running for speed, not for fuel save anymore. These guys are out for blood.
Yeah, and now I think we're at that part of the race where we're going to start seeing elevator blocking.
Yeah.
Good passer to the point.
Remember that question you asked me earlier about how much you drive out the rearview mirror?
Yeah.
This is that time that you just watch out that rearview mirror.
And you just hope that you know the track.
Hey, yeah. I hope most of these guys have had enough laps here to know how to drive it blind. I mean, what?
So real quick, I want to throw this out there. For our wonderful sponsors, you can check all their links down in the descriptions. First off, thank the title sponsor, RICMOTECH. Thank you guys very much for letting us do this. W Energy, we already talked about them. Extreme Scoring, we're using it on the broadcast tonight. As you see Kyle Miller now go to the outside lane. You see the video for Extreme Scoring multiple times a race. It does wonders for leagues. The Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, they are talking about X-Men The Last Stand tomorrow night, about 7 o'clock Eastern. All our cautions on the channel are brought to you by Elite Entertainment. The Wrestling with Nerds podcast, they have this great series that they're about to wrap up next weekend. They're talking about 1997 WWF versus WCW. If you're in the Indianapolis, St. Louis, or Carolina areas and you need a cage for your AC unit to keep those very, very pesky pests and other animals out, go hit up Brayton Laster. That link is also down in the description. The official sporting network for All-Star 15 TV, the Regeneration Sports Network. You'll see them post every Thursday or Friday about the week of racing that was from All-Star 15 TV. Falcon Grafix. Use code All-Star 15 TV to save $5 off your first vehicle wrap. And Joe, your favorite, the Drinking Bros Auto Racing page.
Woo, Drinking Bros!
Woo! But with that, we just have about 13 laps to go, coming to 12, and you can hear the lady counting the money at the pay window as they are very much getting desperate. Some of these drivers need a win to make the playoffs, and Jeffrey Goodpaster is one of them.
I do believe there's several drivers up there.
I mean, anybody can use an extra win. Don't let that fool
I
you.
think right.
Kyle Miller in the 5 on the outside. Goodpaster, the lead car on the inside.
There's that one car again, right in that high line.
Yeah, and Goodpaster's got to be careful. He's blocking it all the way below that double yellow line. That is out of bounds. Gonna have to be careful because at this point, somebody might just spin him right out and he's gonna go right into that outside wall. Oh! Thought we were gonna see some contact between him and Miller.
It's getting spicy.
We talking like habanero or ghost pepper?
Ghost pepper.
Ouch.
It's getting hot in here.
And there it is again. You could really see that whenever Ansman gives the 33 of Goodpaster a push, it pushes both of them towards that double yellow line.
If you're not pushing square, it's gonna make that car do things you don't want it to do.
No,
you gotta
sir.
push them right in that center.
9 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line this time by, and we have a third lane brewing. Carter Casey, well, now it's Daniel Krim, Carter Casey, and Joshua Gillen. And there's the 26. Krim's trying to help his teammate, the 26 of Vidal, get into these playoffs. Here comes Joe Torres with a nice push from the 09 of Bryce Senezek on that outside lane. This time by your race leader, still Goodpaster.
Ooh. 33 just got spun off the nose of the 29. He was able to catch it.
Yeah, great catch, and I think Goodpaster might be able to still hold on to this draft here. He's got Tuttle right in front of him that he can probably use Tuttle as like a stopgap to go from one draft to another. But up front, it's the 09 of Bryce Senezak, but here comes the 5 once again to the outside. 7 to go this time by. Joe, how tense are these moments in the car for these drivers?
White knuckles and sweat. That's how tense.
Eef. Like, I'm sweating just being in the broadcast booth.
Well, that's because your furnace is on, sir. I mean, what?
Okay, I'm happy. I heard fur, and I was like, that's not fat. As Torres is going to leave Senezak to the inside lane, and there goes the 29 to the point.
Here comes a 7-8 and the 5 on the outside. And they got Daniel Krim right behind them.
Daniel Krim has been spot on all night long when it comes to pushing cars around the racetrack.
Krim's got the 003 with him. They're trying to get that outside line going. Oh, the 03's in the wall.
I don't know how Paul Irvin did that. He kept it off the 003.
Racing IQ and talent.
Which, knowing Paul for as long as I have, there's a lot of it in that helmet. Whether he uses it sometimes. Love you, Paul.
It looks like the 47 may have just scraped the wall too.
Yeah. I'm starting to think with 14, 15 laps on these tires that with everybody running as hard as they are, might be losing some handling earlier.
Oh! Woo! Woo! Pucker value at 12.
Yes.
Got him.
And there goes the 5 for the first time in this run, able to drop down to that inside lane. And here comes Goodpaster again with a nice shove from Carter Casey.
Looks like the 47 and the 03 were able to recover. 47 is coming up the middle. He's trying to get to the back bumper of his teammate.
He's trying very hard.
Yep. The 28 and the 33 on the outside.
I think the issue is if that one blinks now, there's going to be a big one. And I very much hope not.
Shh. Quiet.
I think the 33 just popped the wall coming across the line.
It looked like it.
For that outside lane and that middle lane, they need to be put together more. There's too many gaps. As coming out of turn number 4, Barney the Flagman has dual popsicle sticks up in the air. Dennis Ansman gets shuffled out.
Oh, here we go. Caution, yellow flag. Oh. And chaos.
It's a big one.
Millions and millions of dollars of damage.
It is a big one, people. We're going to go to the Wrestling with Nerds blimp cam. That everybody are besides our top 2 drivers?
I believe so.
And maybe Paul Irvin. Which again,
but you know who's the first car lap down?
Probably Gary Wells.
And guess who gets his lap back? And guess who's got clean bumpers?
So this is on the roof cam of the 48. Watch this.
You know that whole thing about racing IQ and talent?
Dude, he was already off the gas before that even happened.
I know, that was luck.
You could be so smart, but you need a lot of luck.
Mm-hmm. Golden Horseshoe Award to Paul Irvin.
Please pick it up at the concession stand. Fourth caution of the evening, and this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered. We're getting the watch from Krim. Give me a second to get back to that. Where are you?
Holy cow. I just saw it in the rewind. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Agricultural
Look
racing.
at it. Daniel Krim, make sure you invoice Talladega Super Speedway for that lawn job. Thank you. A lot of good driving in that.
We took out a lot of cars as well. Good pastor. Senizak coming back on the racetrack. It doesn't look too bad.
I don't think he had a lot of damage.
Good pastor with some significant damage. The 25 of Zimmer with significant damage. You can see some right front damage and some rear damage on the 003. Vidal's got a good chunk of damage. Here comes Gary Wells to just top off because I think he should be back on the lead lap. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Wow. Fourth caution flag of the evening brought to you by Elite Entertainment. That was one heck of a run, though, Joe. Very proud of these guys, and just coming to 2 to go, stuff like that just happens at a super speedway.
Stuff like that. You are correct. That was a dig at Campesio. Hi, Mike. I know you're watching. No, I'm very impressed with some of the driving today. Mistakes are made, but we're about to see one hell of a finish here.
That brought some PTSD back, just so you know, when you said mistakes are made. Some old Black Ops.
Where are we gonna have to have a discussion later?
I don't know. Are we? You tell
It looks
me,
like Miller took the outside.
Joshua Gillen in the YouTube chat. Well, that was fun. Well, that was fun in the grass. And then he goes, and it wasn't even because I was blinking. And no, it wasn't. But now you're starting in that 4th position. Coming to a green, white, checkered. Joe, I don't think we're done here.
I would have to agree, sir.
I love how everybody right now is telling us who they're rooting for, as we are less than a half a lap away from going green. You have a couple people rooting for Paul. You have a couple for Torres.
We have a driver messaging from his car right now.
Yes.
Most of the race.
And this is big. This is big. Gillen, which I don't know if he's got like an iPad or a computer set up like how cop cars have them, but he says he's not helping the 5. Yikes. That could really hurt momentum on that outside. And here we go. Green flag in the air. First green-white checkered attempt is a go. And Kyle Miller is out by a mile.
He about to get freight trained.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. But at this point, he's going to have to block it, too.
Oh, yeah. There goes the one blinking.
Kyle Miller on that inside lane, getting a shove from Joe Torres.
Paul Irvin in one on the outside, getting a good run.
Oh, I'm so nervous every time that one disappears.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the reason why that outside lane doesn't go anywhere. All right, through the tri-oval we go. White flag in the air, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast.
Oh, the one just got shoved out.
There goes Joe Torres to the middle. Paul Irvin right behind him. Dennis Ansman and Senizak shoving the 5, and there goes Ansman. Into turn number 3. They are even at the point. Oh!
Oh, there we go. They ain't done. Oh.
Bryce Senizak through the tri-oval towards the start-finish line. He is going to win. Paul Irvin's going to come home in second, and Daniel Krim in third.
Wow.
Shall we go back and take a look at that?
I think so.
Go to the 29 of Joe Torres, because I think that's where the bump happens. Gives the 3 a bump. Oh. What a finish, Joe. What a great race we had. A lot of carnage at the end. But Bryce Senizak coming home with another win this season.
Congratulations, drivers. Good race.
Very good race. Very proud of these guys. As you can see, the 09 burning it down.
Time to make the donuts.
Win number 4 for the 09 of the season can add Talladega to Mid-Ohio, Kansas, and New Hampshire. Joe, you ready to talk to some of our podium drivers?
Oh, of course, AJ. Let's go. Who do we got first?
I'll give you number 2. I will take 3 and 1. Well, we'll start with the driver of the number 47. It's Daniel Krim, getting through multiple messes this evening to come home in P3. How's it feel, pal?
Man, it feels great. I want to give a quick shout out already to Dalton Fredericks for letting me borrow his golden horseshoe.
Oh my God.
I had so many questions lined up, and you just control alternate deleted on all of them.
You just reset Joe.
But dude, great job here tonight. How does it feel to go into the playoffs now with all this momentum?
I'm still craving that first win of this series, really. Still trying to go after that. As we were talking, I think it was last night or earlier today. I mean, I've only won one race on iRacing in the last 2 years, and it was at Monza of all places. But been carrying a lot of momentum all season, really. I mean, I don't even know what the top 5 or top 4 streak is at this point, but I know it's been several races. So, I mean, I know if I keep that alive, I'll at least get to the top 4. That's my goal this season for both trucks and Xfinity, is to make that top 4 for the championship races, I should say. So definitely want to try to keep that going. But There's that guy in that '09 car that somehow keeps getting these wins. So obviously he's going to be getting up there, I would imagine. But playoffs quite a few races to go, quite a few last minute chances for people to get in. So we'll see how these next few races go for sure.
He's got 4 of them on the season, but there were very much a couple misses you had throughout tonight's race. The Golden Horseshoe, 100%. I will give you that. But to do it multiple times, I think there's a lot of talent that a lot of talent there for you.
I mean, I've always prided myself of being pretty good at these super speedway races, so definitely wanted to have a shot last night and kind of screwed myself multiple times early, and then of course race finished early, so I wasn't able to get my laps back to be able to do that. But I definitely just wanted to kind of pull it all out there on the end. Y'all know the don't lift till you see God or checker flag type deal. Me and Paul are both in the same boat there.
That's what it seemed like, pal. But dude, before we let you go and enjoy this podium finish, talk about them sponsors.
Definitely got to give a shout out, of course, to Bryant's Motorsports on the hood there, main sponsor for the car and for the team, for my truck and everything in real life as well. Feel free to hit them up in Hendersonville, Tennessee. All-Star 15, you guys, y'all might be a little familiar with the car. Nerds doing nerd things, wrestling with nerds. Obviously, go to the Beard Struggle, get 20% off with XTREME 20 as the promo code. Of course, been racing with my aunt on the C-Pillar all season with that breast cancer awareness flag, so definitely give her a shout out. And my mind is going blank, but I think we got everybody there. Pride Trucking, shout out to Pride and all those guys there. And JVM Graphics and Hushport PC as well.
All right, Daniel, thanks again for coming and talking with us, and congratulations, dude.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's talk to P number 2, and that would be Paul Irvin. Joe, take it away.
Paul, you got a copy?
10-4, I do.
Great race, bud. Absolutely wonderful race. Take us through those final few laps for us.
Yeah, that's I was going back and watching those last few cautions, or the caution and then the last wreck there off of 4. I really hope that AJ went on board with me on the caution there at the end of the race.
Oh, he did. He did.
Oh, sometimes you just get that sense that something's happening. I saw the 3 Ansman down there on the apron. It's like he's got to come back up somehow, and just had that feeling that was going to cause some issues. So managed to get out of it and dodge about 3 or 4 cars sliding around the track. So a little bit of sense, a little bit of common sense, but a little bit of luck too. Luck came in on that last one.
That's exactly what I said. I keep racing IQ, talent, and the Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah, Krim asked me, "How did you get through that?" I said, "I didn't lift."
Wait until you see his view.
Yeah, just didn't lift. Luckily, no one hit me in the left rear. I was able to clear the debris off the front end as they came back across the track, and unfortunately, I couldn't see out of the left side of the car, so I thought that took everybody. I'm like, oh my god, I just won this race. And then as I came down the track, Bryce comes into view in front of me. I'm like, well, it took about almost everybody. So hats off to him for also dodging it, having a little bit of luck himself. But this is great momentum at a plate track that I typically somehow find my way towards the front, but don't always get the result. So it's nice to finally finish up here on a podium and take some playoff points and take this momentum into the playoffs next week.
Always good to have playoff momentum. You got any sponsors or thank yous you want to dish out here?
Yeah, shout out to Gary Wells and Warrior Enterprises for throwing me on the team here, kind of part way through the season. They needed a driver and I needed a team, and he said, "Well, we'll put you on board here." So I appreciate him having the home for me here. Shout out to Dustin Carroll, obviously, always for the paint schemes that he always makes for me. Might have a special championship S scheme coming out next week at Pocono, so hope you guys are excited for that one. Shout out to RICMOTECH, obviously, for sponsoring the truck and the Xfinity Series here in Extreme. And shout out to you guys, as always, up in the booth for always putting on one hell of a show that we can always go back and watch and relive our glory days.
Awesome. Well, great job tonight.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, that is Paul Irvin finishing second here this evening. But now it's time to talk to the man of the hour. It's Bryce Senezak. Dude, what a heck of a way to win this race. We talked to you at the stage, and now we're talking to you as the winner of the final race of the regular season. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Completely unexpected. I didn't remember what the point deficit was with the standings and everything, so I managed to get the stage win. It's like, well, I know that pretty much locks it up. I just got top 5, top 10, whatever, and that's kind of what I was going for.
You don't think the 4 wins helped you?
Well, that's going to help me going into the playoffs with the bonus points, but yeah, just really crazy that I didn't expect to win this thing at all. With how crazy Daytona was, I kind of just played it a bit safe, tried to get the stage points, and then got all those points then for with the win. And then Joe going to the outside, they really stacked up the outside lane, and so I just went to the inside, and so I was going to try and push Paul there to probably try and win this thing. And then both the 29 and 3 went to the middle, and I was like, well, I'm just going to go with the 5. And then they got all mixed up there on the outside, and I thought I was going to go head on into the wall, and I didn't, and had a clear path to the win.
Well, dude, great job. Way to extend the momentum that you've had all season long into the playoffs now. Next week, we're heading to Pocono. What are we expecting from you there?
I think we can be a top 5 car. I feel like I'm hit or miss whenever we race there. I haven't raced. Pocono's a track I haven't been at like a ton of times. Just like only like a small handful probably, but it's just not like a track you race at like every week and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do here and that kind of stuff. So we'll see when we get there and just do our best.
All right, dude. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go celebrate the win here tonight?
And thanks to everyone at Zero9 Racing, you guys up in the booth during the broadcast. Thanks for Thwaites and Eric Driggins working with me tonight. Shout out to Elwood Designs, Celsius, Spoiler Diecast. Thanks for all the guys they do in the admin tower, and yeah.
All right. We'll catch you later, pal. We'll see you at Pocono next week, and congratulations once again on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
Joe, take us home, pal.
What can I say? This was probably one of the cleanest and best plate races that I've seen all year long. I'm flabbergasted that these guys did that well of a job. It got sloppy at the end, but that's expected in plate racing. So congratulations to everybody is at hand for putting on a very, very good show tonight.
Everybody, for All-Star 15 TV, thank you guys for tuning into the race tonight. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, and we will catch you next week at Pocono Raceway.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.